or even being pleasantly surprised at the situations we may face. For the majority of our lives, we take for granted. Complacency can destroy long-term relationships because finding that fine line between going with the flow and finding what doesn't work, what does, and what will is the hardest thing we will ever do. Being aware of that line saves you time, heartache, and regrets. Furthermore, when you're open and asked to be open with any relationship, the shaky ground disappears. Communication, at its finest, involves knowing where you stand, as well getting to know where the people in your life stand as well. Trust need not apply. For if everything's open, trust is a thing of the past. It's archaic. I'm sorry, it just is. If you do not agree, leave a comment, and I'll argue you all day. But now you may be a bit overwhelmed, with your mind asking you 1,000 questions, or asking others for advice. Just breathe. Breathe. Facing yourself with your mind is cold and logical, so stop. Take a breath and focus how the question feels from your heart. From your heart. Where logic fails, instincts take over. Putting faith in yourself and taking comfort in it is also a big part of Loki's mirror. When you look in the mirror, there's typical responses that I get as a therapist, or a friend, or a lover. They panic. Number one, they panic. Fear. Fear of the unknown. Because you're looking at yourself and saying, oh my God, how did I not know this? And then you realize the messenger, the person in front of you telling you this, realizes it. And they suddenly have all this control that you didn't know they had. And you want to run. It kills relationships. It kills love of all sorts. Even with those you thought were your closest. Your blood. Your sons, your daughters. Your mothers, your fathers. Do not, I repeat, do not panic. Just breathe. Discovering yourself. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been and are right now. This chapter is structured as a larger seek into who you are. In the previous chapter, we touched base on your past and how it influences yourself in many ways. Here, we'll break down the details and face the pieces of yourself that make up your core. By now, you should have a basic idea on how questioning yourself takes a certain amount of vigilance. There are things that you discover on your own, yet there are things that are only revealed with interaction in the world. This includes online. Do not get me wrong. We are connected to 20 billion souls at any given second. Remember that. It's important. This balance, these interactions, show us that our actions, from what we do to what we say, shape how we present ourselves to the world. To thy own self be true. It's not just a t-shirt slogan. We always are true to ourselves, whether we're aware of it or not. To be aware and discovering those truths takes constant vigilance. I can't stress that's enough. It can be exhausting. It can be overwhelming. But you're not a robot. You're not going to look to a higher power and ask, how can you get me out of my own problems? I'm sorry. The way that thinking is done. It might be anarchy to say this, but you do not look to your governor. You do not look to your therapist, to any person above you. And let me put this plainly. You do not solve your problems by asking somebody else that has power over you, because you are giving it to them, that has power over you, and remedying it. You're just putting it off until it can be solved at a later date. Because guess what? That's how power works. They want you to keep coming back. There's no profit for them in a solution. A real, true solution. So they give you patchwork. This is how governments work. This is how any higher power works. I share that bit of wisdom because it's vastly important to self-discovery. Vastly. So rewind. Repeat. Listen to it again. Because it's the truth. The effing truth. Now, where was I? Oh yes. To be aware and discovering the truth takes constant vigilance. It can be exhausting and overwhelming. Do not become a robot. Someone once discussed with me before. This guide was a passing thought. That if we knew everything there is to know, all truths, that it would be truly a boring existence. The reply I had, why that may be impossible, but discovering our own truths shows us our own light to experience what we want to do with the time and energy, more importantly energy, we have, and in doing so we can fully experience what may come our way, and possibly why. The important thing is the energy force inside you. That belongs to you alone. It is yourself. Actually, all that makes you a self. A human. A beast. A demon. Your inner demons. All of it. Once you found it, that force, or will, or need, or heart, whatever it is, then all you have to do is submit. It's you. You're submitting to yourself. And then you stay the course. It takes you. Yourself takes you. If you can't find the road, you can find it if you need to. How many people need to, really need to find their destiny, to be themselves? Surely everyone does. Takes work. Well, it does. And it's true. Most people don't even seem to put effort into it. They do what comes next, or what's expected of them. They do what comes next, or what's expected of them, and get lost in a meaningless tangle of desires, frivolities, contingencies, dwelling, all this crap that psychology will tell you causes depression. Unnatural depression, apparently. Oh, wait. It's all natural. It's all... Oh, my God! You feel like shit? Then do something about it! Why don't people simply do what's necessary? It boggles the mind. It's just easier not to. Let me repeat that. It's just easier not to. How stupid it is. Even if you sit in the chair for 10 years, still the years go by. So why not get up and walk? Make it a journey. A child's view of an adult is one of envy. Wants everyone going somewhere. But these days, I don't see them going anywhere. Never getting home, lost in eating and sleeping, talking, and visibly meaningless work. I mean, people free to do as they please, yet they do nothing. They lose their souls out of sheer carelessness. And this is Loki's mirror. I suggest you listen again, 'cause I'm quite sure, oh, I'm damn sure, that your own prejudices, your own mind, has fought my words throughout this entire half hour. If you've made it that far, this far, I look forward to hearing from you. Please leave comments. In Lakesh, I love you all.